Well, nuts. Another week. Good afternoon. Welcome to the week 11. 11 miserable weeks. 11-week recap. Let's start this over. It's going about as well as my season is going. No, you know what? We're just going to keep this going. Why would I restart this? All right, welcome to the week 11 recap, week 12 preview. It's me, your host, the first person officially eliminated from the playoffs. That's right, I've got a big old E next to my name. Let's take a look, guys. What the heck happened in week 11? Well, here's what happened. I was playing against Michael, who was at the time 6-4, projected to beat me 130 to 100. And what happened? I lost. But in heartbreaking fashion. For those that weren't paying attention, I mean, I had my best player, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who names their kid after Egyptian sun god? Unbelievable. Should have been my first warning. Anyways, it just hurts. It hurts a lot at this point. But I lose. I lose by 0.5 points because my tight end let a ball hit the ground right when he was catching it. If he caught that one, or if that 2-yard catch that Bowers did at the end, just so many things. I mean, even looking at if I'd started Mark Andrews, I win. My other tight end. Maybe if I'd done him as my flex, that I could have won. But no, I played Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, the person I took in that trade, and DeAndre Swift. Wow, Carlos, you little stinker, buddy. Oh my goodness, I could be 5-6, which would be apparently in this year right in the playoff hunt. But no, I'm 2-9. Just recapping, started the season 2-0, won the week 1 prop bet. Pride goeth before destruction. I don't know exactly what lesson God is trying to teach me, other than fantasy football is a giant waste of time. And hold things of this life loosely. And we're just pilgrims passing through. We can't take this with us. I can't take a fantasy football victory or championship past the grave. So you know what? Maybe that's the lesson I'm learning. Anyways, moving on. So I'm 2-9. I'm eliminated. Michael is now 7-4, and you did not deserve that, but that's okay. I didn't either, honestly. All right, if it makes me feel any better, if I had played Steven, I would have lost by 0.8 points, so we'll just keep that going. Steven, you did lose, though. You should have played me or Michael. You could have won, but no, you played Matt. Matt is 8-3 now. Steven is 5-6, and looking at Drake May's score, I thought, dang, Steven picked the wrong quarterback again, only 15 points. But no, Herbert, 3 points, 3.34. Oh, let's just go back to my game real quick, because I'm egocentric in this way. I had to play Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what's up with me. And Aaron Rodgers and what was the other guy, the little white boy from the Niners? Purdy. Apparently they're trash because nobody else has them on their teams. And I can't help but just pick them up because Jackson Dart, the one bright spot of my dismal year, of at least guessing right that he would be good, and he has been. He gets a concussion, obviously. Of course he's unavailable. J.K. Dobbins out for the year, obviously. The kicker that I picked up, out last week, by the way, obviously. Anyways, but Aaron Rodgers, I pick him up. Like, hey, they're playing the Bengals. The Bengals are atrocious on defense. Well, they're good enough to break Aaron Rodgers' wrist in the first half. Like, if he plays maybe one drive more, I win. But no, he breaks his arm, and he only gets 9 points for me. If I picked up Bryce Young off of the waivers, 30 points. But who would have done that? Who would have picked up Bryce Young instead of Aaron Rodgers playing the Cincinnati, we don't have a defense Bengals, unless, of course, Jeff's playing Aaron Rodgers, in which case we'll just break his arm and then we will win that game. No, they lost. They still lost. They lost 34-12. The Bengals did. But they broke my heart. So anyways. All right, so moving on. Yeah, Justin Herbert, 3 points on your bench. Steven, there's nothing you could have done that would have saved you. Nothing at all. And Matt, you didn't play, I mean, your team, 18 points for James Cook, 18 for Jahmyr Gibbs, 19 for Kelsey. Wait, how did Jahmyr Gibbs have so many points? He only had 39 yards. 18.1 yards for a running back with only 39 yards? That doesn't make any sense. Or does it? Anyways, congrats, Matt. 8-3. Drake May, you have fallen down to 5-6, Steven. You've lost 3 in a row. I shouldn't have given you so much shine, but there's something that'll make you happy. I'll tell you in a second. All right, the Queen taking on ChatGB Lee and Brandon. Holy smokes. Projected 126 points, and you said that's not good enough. I have to destroy the will of Hannah to ever return to fantasy football. 150-72. What did it for you? 32 points for McCaffrey, 19 for Etienne, 25 for old George Pickens. George Pickens, I think he's the real wide receiver 1 in Dallas, not CeeDee Lamb. Holy smokes. Trey McBride, a tight end with 23 points. What's going on here? And on your bench, Hannah, I mean, Jordan Love, 17, wouldn't have gotten you much. E. Wilson, I don't know him well enough to know what that E stands for. 13, you would have lost. You just couldn't beat the 150. Congrats, Brandon. 7-4. Hannah, you've lost 3 in a row. 4-7. You're the only person at this point, realistically, I can catch. I'd have to win the next 3. You'd have to lose the next 3 or 2, and then it would come down to a points tiebreaker. So there's still a chance that I don't have to do the calendar, but I think I have to do the calendar. All right, moving on. Creature taking on Bijan, and yeah, it's just never enough, is it? Is it, Sean? You could have scored more points if you had done Trey McMillan. Is his name Trey? Nope, it's Tetoyoroa McMillan. Carolina receiver, 30 points on your bench. 20 points for Derrick Henry on your bench, but you still scored 143 points. So, Greg, sorry about that, pal. Starting Marcus Mariota instead of Baker Mayfield. Bad move. You could have scored 1 more point, Greg. 29 for Bijan. I mean, your namesake tried to keep you in there. 94 points. Not bad. You should have played me. You're playing me this week, so, you know, bring your C game and you'll still win. All right, congrats to Sean. Moves up to 6-5. Greg falls to 5-6. Next up, we had Dampon. Dampon, one of your strongest showings, the lowest scoring team in the league, but you scored 114. You could have beat Greg. You could have beat me. You could have beat Hannah. You could have beat Michael. You could have beat Steven, but you played Carlos. Carlos. Oh, buddy. Oh, 3-0 since the trade. I'm 0-3 since the trade. Oh, it just hurts so much. It just hurts. A-Chain got you 20 points. That might have been the difference for you. If you had kept Swift and Keenan Allen, you probably lose this game. I'm just going to keep, just mentioning that because banned trades. 44 points for Josh Allen. What the heck? That's a lot of points. 27 for M. Wilson. Michael. Okay, that's a normal name. Not Totoyora. Totoyora. Yeah, and Dan, I don't think you could have won in any way. You did the best you could. It wasn't good enough. I mean, Carlos even tried to help you by getting -1 with his defense, but no. Carlos moves up to 5-6. The dream's alive, pal. Congrats. And then Dan falls to 5-6. 3 losses in a row for Dan. 3 wins in a row for Carlos. Just 2 ships passing in the night. All right, the final matchup of Week 11 was a brother battle. Jason versus Mike. And Mike, I don't know what happened there, pal, but you let your little bro walk all over you. 96 for Jason. 80 for Midnight, 4 points for Lamar Jackson, 3.8 for, I'm guessing, Chris. Nope, K-Dot, and I'm really bad. I'll just start saying C. Hubbard. Yeah, oh, Chuba, I know that name. Chuba Hubbard? Chuba Hubbard, 3.3 points. It was just a really weird, 22 points for your defense, though. That's pretty good. On your bench, a lot of buys. You're almost end-syncing it there. I think that was your end-sync week with all the buys and IRs, but, anyways, Mike falls to 6-5. Jason moves up to 6-5, and that is our Week 11 recap. All right, prop bet for Week 11 was the sackiest of all sacks. highest sacking defense, and we had a couple teams with 3, or more than a couple. I think we had 3 or 4 teams that had 3 sacks. We had a team with 4 sacks, the Cowboys, against the Raiders. And then we had 2 teams that tied for the highest sacks for the week at 5. We had Carlos and Steven's defense. And Carlos's defense somehow had 5 sacks and -1 total points. So the winner is, it's going to be May. Steven, you get your second prop bet victory. The Browns defense. The Browns defense against the Ravens. You should almost not even win the prop bet because you said the Browns defense will be good against the Ravens. But they were, but they lost. So you get 16 points from your defense, 5 sacks, and you win. So congrats to Steven, the winner of our week 11 prop bet. Okay, looking ahead to week 12. I'm not looking ahead to week 12 because every week is a misery for me. Okay, taking on Greg. 5-6 Greg, taking on 2-9 Jeff Boys. Right now projected, I'm to lose. Big shocker. 102 to 108. Next up, we've got the I was going to say 5, and it turned into an Irish 4. Got the 4-7 Queen taking on the 8-3 Gun Fishing. Right now, Hannah projected to win 108 to Matt's 94. I guess I have to root for Matt because I need Hannah to lose. And yet, all of me says that I want Matt to lose. All right, next up, we got the Sean, 6-5, taking on Brandon, 7-4. Right now, Brandon projected 126 to Sean's 120. Dan Pond taking on Michael Cup, Olave Gardens. 99 for Dan, projected to 103 for Michael. What a very modest projection for our normally 126 to 140 projected points for Michael. But that 130 down to 78, perhaps it humbled the ESPN app with the projections for you, but you're still projected to win. All right, the last matchup that we have, just kidding. Second to last, we got Jason taking on Carlos. 2 teams that are not the same record I thought they were. 6-5 Jason versus 5-6 Carlos. Right now projected Jason 107 to Carlos's 92. And I need, H-Hands on a bye week. How about that? All right, Steven taking on Mike. Right now, Steven 102 to Mike's 99. Mike 6-5, Steven 5-6. All right, that's it, folks. That is our preview. The prop bet for this week, for week 12, let me pull it up to remind myself, is the You Don't Deserve This Either award. And it goes to the team that wins with the lowest scoring lineup for the week. So, you must, to win this bet, you must win the game and be the lowest scoring winning team. So Michael, you would have won it this past week, and it would have made that even more bitter for me. But you didn't. So, all right. So lowest scoring team that wins. I feel like we had something like that. Oh, that was, lowest losing team with the highest score. Okay, so yeah. Team with the highest. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's it. All right. That's it. All right. Check your lineups. I don't know if we have any European games. Speaking of Europeans, you guys see that picture of Henry peeing on my stairs? The perfect shape. Like if he was a vandalous teen boy trying to destroy property, I don't think he could have made a better... yeah, that was wild. It was incredible. I almost stepped in it. Glad I didn't. All right, have a great night.